Hello, I'm Brandy at Stampin' Up, and today I get to show you a fun technique video. This technique is called watercolor lifting. It's really cool. What I'm going to do is make a watercolor wash on a background and then stamp and emboss over the top and then lift some of the color back off with water. Let's go ahead and get started with this. I'm going to use 2 ink pads for my watercolor wash, and I'm just going to open these guys up so that I can use these little trays to create a little watercolor pool. Have my coordinating re-inkers. Okay, and then the other tools that I need are the Aqua Painter, and I've just got a piece of cardstock here. You can use watercolor paper, but right here I'm going to use our shimmery white cardstock. It works well for watercolor techniques as well. So let's go ahead and take this watercolor, or the Aqua Painter, and drop some water in here. I'm going to actually do that on both of them to create kind of a watery wash. And just get some right on the tip, and there's no wrong way to do this. You're just going to swirl some color back and forth about half the card front there. And then I'll go to my pinkish one. I want to let those blend right together in the middle and get more of a pure pink at the bottom. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and set that aside to dry. You can actually use a little bit of washi tape to hold it in place so it won't curl, or you can just wait until after it's dry and then straighten it back out. Here's the one that I've already let dry, and you can see that it's not too curly. I straightened it out a little bit so I could use it. Let's go ahead and move these. Alright, next step is to emboss. So you're just going to want whichever stamp set you'd like to use and a good embossing ink pad. This is my Versamark pad. The stamp set I'm using is called Blooms and Wishes, and I'll just grab a little bit of Versamark and start stamping a background right over the top of this watercoloring. Okay, let's do a third one kind of down here. And this stamp set has a few smaller pieces as well, so I can come in and do a few more images in the space. You might not be able to see that well. The Versamark ink is clear, so you just need to have good light on it, and you can see right where your stamping is. I'm going to add a little leaf here. And a little flower. Now the embossing I'm going to do is clear embossing, and that's important for this technique. You definitely want to use the clear. And before I pour my powder on, I'll just grab a little piece of copy paper. I've folded it in half. This will help me catch my extra powder. And I like to be generous. Go ahead and pour it all out. And we'll tap off the extra. Now you can kind of see where that powder's at. I got my clear images there. Pull this aside. The next step is going to be to get this all heat embossed. I'll just use my heat tool and go ahead and melt all of this. And actually I'm going to skip to one that's already done so that you can see how that looks. And if I tilt that just right, you can see how those clear images are now right over the top of my watercoloring. Okay, so now we're ready for the lifting part of this technique. So I'll go back to my Aqua Painter, make sure I don't have color hanging out still on there. Go ahead and be generous with the water, let it all flow out, and just swoosh that water back and forth over the top. Anything that's under the embossing is protected so the color stays darker. And any of the watercoloring that's exposed will lighten up quite a bit with all of this extra water on it. Isn't that cool? And then of course you're going to set that aside to dry again. Just takes a couple of minutes, but I'll skip to mine that's already had a chance to dry. Here it is. And now I'm ready to make a beautiful creation with this. So I've folded a coordinating card front here, and it's ready to adhere on, but I want to make sure and get it nice and flat. So I'll definitely need my Fast Fuse adhesive. This stuff will hold really well all the way around the edge. The trick with this is as you roll, you just need to cut it off by pulling it to the side, break it off. And I'm being really generous with it all the way around the edge. And this has been cut down so it's just a little smaller than my card front. Go ahead and glue that. And now to finish it off, I'm going to use a few little embellishments. I've got a piece of ribbon, little piece of vellum. I've cut the word congrats out from the Sunshine Wishes framelits. And I've got a piece of baker's twine ready to go here. I'm just going to take this whole set of embellishments. I'm actually going to staple it. Get everything trapped there together. Get kind of that cute stapled look. Actually, I was supposed to just staple it once, but that works, right? Okay. And then I would just tie a cute little bow and this card is ready to go. Let's check out the finished one. Here we go. And that is the watercolor lifting technique. I hope you had fun learning this technique with me today. Be sure to check out the Stampin' Up! Channel for even more fun technique videos. And to order the products you've seen, visit your Stampin' Up! Demonstrators website or go to stampinup.com.